living in the future. Feels like it with all this AI stuff, right? And now Apple's diving in headfirst with Apple Intelligence.
Big move for them, no question. Apple's all about sleek design, user-friendly, but now they're going up against the Googles, the OpenAIs of the world.
And you know we got to break this down, right? You've sent us a whole stack of articles, so deep dive into Apple Intelligence it is. What is it? How does it work? And why should you even care?
It's interesting. Apple's not usually first to the party, but when they show up, they make an entrance.
And by entrance, you mean launching October 28th next week. Totally free. Anyone with compatible Apple device. Free, no hidden fees, none of that.
Exactly. And let's be clear, this isn't just Siri with a fresh coat of paint. This is after baking AI into the core of how you use their devices.
Okay, so spill it. What's this more than Siri business about Apple Intelligence?
Imagine you're writing an email, right? But instead of agonizing over every word, your phone helps you out. Not just typos, but making the sentences sing, summarizing key points, even changing the tone to be more professional or, more casual.
Whoa, like having a writing buddy in my pocket. Could have used that back in college.
Right, but it's more than that. Picture this. You're on social media, want to react with the perfect emoji, but there just isn't one.
Oh, tell me about it. Trying to find an emoji for my friend group's inside joke never happens.
Exactly. So Apple Intelligence, you create your own Genmoji, they call them. Just use your words. Want a goofy emoji of your dog wearing like a little hat? Done.
Okay, that's seriously cool. So I can finally have an emoji that truly embodies me. Mind blown.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's also Image Playground. You tell your phone what image you want, plain English, and it just creates it.
So I could be like, hey, Apple, picture this. Squirrel wearing a tiny raincoat, holding a miniature umbrella, walking a ladybug on a leash. And it'll just do it.
Got it. And when it's like a personal illustrator on call, 24/7. And of course, Siri's getting a massive upgrade thanks to all this.
Oh, yeah, Siri. Can't forget about Siri. What's the deal with this Siri overhaul? How's it different from, the Siri we kind of know and tolerate?
Think of it this way. Siri now is like talking to someone, just learning your language. Helpful, but kind of clunky. This new Siri, powered by Apple Intelligence, it's like having a conversation with someone fluent. Understands you better, faster, even remembers past chats to give you personalized answers.
Hold on. Siri's going to actually know me. Like my habits, my questionable taste in music, all that.
You got it. Let's say you're a creature of habit. Always go jogging Tuesday evenings. New Siri might remind you, don't forget your headphones. Or you're looking for a restaurant. Siri suggests places based on what you actually like to eat, not just whatever's closest.
No, that's what I'm talking about. A Siri that's actually useful knows me, doesn't make me feel like I'm talking to a wall. But it's just as important to me as a cool new feature, knowing my stuff is actually safe.
You're right. And Apple knows this is huge for people. They're going all in on keeping your data private with this thing.
All right, hit me with it. How's Apple Intelligence going to be secure, private, all that good stuff?
Two-pronged approach. First, they're processing as much as possible right there on your device. No need to send everything to a giant data center in the sky.
Okay, so no relying on Google or Amazon's cloud for this.
Nope. Keeping it all in-house gives them way more control over security and privacy,
So it's like Fort Knox for my data. I like the sound of that. But there is one teensy little question still bugging me.
Let's hear it.
ChatGPT, everyone's favorite AI chatbot. I heard rumors, whispers, that Apple's integrating ChatGPT into all this. Is it true?
True as it gets. Apple's bringing ChatGPT's smarts into their world. You'll be able to use it all its power without ever leaving Apple land.
Wait, hold on. So I can use ChatGPT straight through Siri, no separate app, no jumping through hoops.
That's the idea. And they're building in extra privacy measures so you can use it without your info ending up who knows where.
Yeah.
Having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah.
But we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how that all works a little later.
Okay, you've officially got my attention. But for now, let's get back to basics. This all sounds amazing, but something tells me not everyone's going to be able to jump on the Apple Intelligence train right away. What about devices? Any limitations there?
You're right. You'll need at least an M-series chip, or for iPhones and iPads, the A17 Pro or later.
So if you bought a new Apple device recently, you're probably good to go. But what about folks who aren't quite ready to retire their trusty old devices? Any hope for them?
Right now, doesn't look like older devices will be supported at launch. Rumors they might be down the road, though. But for the full experience, yeah, you might need an upgrade.
Well, there you have it, folks. An upgrade might be in order to unlock the full power of Apple Intelligence. All right, so we've covered all the cool stuff Apple Intelligence can do, but now I got to know how. What's going on behind the scenes to make this magic happen?
At the heart of it all, AI models. Think of them like the brains behind it all. Apple's using not one, but two main types for Apple Intelligence. One lives right on your device, the other's up in the cloud.
Two brains are better than one, I guess. But why two? And what's the difference? On-device versus cloud.
Good question. The on-device one, it's like your super fast sidekick, always there for quick tasks, need a timer, asking Siri what the weather's like. On-device model handles it instantly. No internet needed even.
So that's how Siri can tell me it's raining even when I'm on airplane mode. Makes sense.
Exactly. But some stuff, it's a bit more demanding, needs more power, That's where the cloud model comes in, like having a whole supercomputer on call, ready to tackle the heavy lifting.
So on-device is a quick sprint, cloud model's a marathon runner.
Perfect way to put it. Generating a complex image with that image playground thing, or making Siri summarize a whole article. That's the cloud model flexing its muscles.
Makes sense. But sending stuff to the cloud, doesn't that kind of ring some privacy alarm bells?
You'd think so, right? But here's the Apple twist. Remember how we talked about them keeping everything in-house? That's for their cloud setup, too.
Wait, seriously, they're not just using, like, Google or Amazon servers?
Nope. Built our own network of secure servers just for Apple Intelligence.
Yeah.
Private cloud compute, they're calling it. Privacy and security were priority #1 when they built this thing.
Okay, starting to see why they made such a big deal about the whole privacy thing.
Yeah.
But how does this stack up against, say, Google, OpenAI? What are those guys doing?
Well, they definitely hoover up a lot more data than Apple. Their argument is bigger data sets, smarter AI.
So it's a trade-off then. More data, maybe better performance, but less privacy.
Exactly. Here's the kicker, though. Even with less data, Apple says their models can still go toe-to-toe with the best.
Really? No way.
No, really. They claim their on-device model performs just as well, sometimes better, than similar stuff from Google, Microsoft, you name it.
Wow. So even though it's smaller, it lives on your phone, it can hold its own. What about the cloud model? How does that compare to something like, what's that one everyone's talking about, GPT-4?
Holding on to your hats. Apple's saying their server foundation models are going head-to-head with GPT-4. Already beat GPT-3 in tests, and they're closing in on GPT-4's capabilities.
Okay, so they weren't kidding around, huh? But didn't we talk about ChatGPT earlier? I'm a little lost why use ChatGPT at all if their own models are that good.
Because ChatGPT has some tricks up its sleeve. It's super versatile, can do things even the most powerful AI models struggle with.
Like what? Give me an example.
Sure. Say you're planning a trip, want a detailed itinerary, restaurant recs, sightseeing, even estimated travel times, all in one place. That kind of complex stuff, that's where ChatGPT shines.
So Apple's thinking is, why reinvent the wheel? Team up with the best there is. But, and I know I sound like a broken record, what about privacy with ChatGPT?
I get it. It's a valid concern, especially since, ChatGPT does collect data on its users. But Apple's been very clear they're taking steps to protect your privacy, even when you're using ChatGPT.
Okay, I'm listening. How are they doing that?
First off, they're not just automatically making everyone use ChatGPT. You got to choose to opt in. And even then, they're masking your data, things like hiding your IP address so it's not tied back to you.
So even though it's a third-party service, Apple's still, like, standing guard over your data.
Exactly. Building a privacy-focused bridge between you and ChatGPT.
That's good to hear. Okay, so we've nerded out on the tech behind Apple Intelligence, but I think it's time to address the elephant in the room,
And what elephant would that be?
How is this going to actually change things? We'll be tackling that juicy topic when we come back for the final part of our deep dive. All right, so the big question, how is Apple Intelligence going to rock our world? I'm ready for that future where I can find the perfect emoji, no more scrolling for days.
Oh, it's way more than emojis. This is Apple using AI to actually help us do things, in a way we haven't really seen before.
Okay, so what's that look like? Paint me a picture. AI future, Apple style.
Imagine, right? Tech that doesn't just do its own thing, but actually helps us be more creative, get things done faster.
Yeah.
All while not being creepy and grabby with our data. That's Apple Intelligence in a nutshell.
Like they looked at what AI can do and said, how do we make this actually useful for everyone without losing what makes Apple, well, Apple?
Exactly. They've woven AI into their devices so smoothly you barely notice it. It's not replacing us. It's like having an extra hand.
A team of invisible helpers, making your writing better, creating cool visuals, and making your day smoother. Speaking of those AI writing tools, Game changer for anyone who stares at a blank page and panics. Me. I'm talking about me.
Tell me about it.
Ugh.
That blank page syndrome is real. But now, with Apple Intelligence, you give your phone a few bullet points, bam, polished draft in like 5 minutes.
Writer's block. Whoo! It's like having a personal writing assistant, available 24/7. But you know what really gets me going? The creative stuff. That image playground thing is just wild.
Right. Even if you can't draw a straight line, suddenly you can create amazing images. Birthday card for a friend. Just tell your phone what you want. Logo for your new project. Boom, done.
So many possibilities. And then there's Genmoji. No more endless scrolling, trying to find an emoji that kind of sort of matches what you mean.
Exactly. It's about making our digital conversations more, well, us. Imagine sending your friend a Genmoji, their own face, reacting to their good news.
Way more personal. And let's not forget about Siri, a virtual assistant that actually gets me, anticipates what I need. I'm here for it.
And think about accessibility. For someone who can't see well, having Siri describe images, read text messages, it's huge.
Tech that works for everyone, that's the dream. But gotta be real, with any new tech, there's always a flip side, right? What could go wrong?
Oh, absolutely. We got to be careful about bias. These AI models, they're learning from data, so we got to make sure that data is fair, represents everyone. And we can't become so reliant on AI that we forget how to think for ourselves.
Finding that balance, right? Using AI to do amazing things, but not letting it do our thinking for us.
100%. The future of AI, it's not some set path. It's something we're all figuring out together.
So true. Well, folks, that's our deep dive into the world of Apple Intelligence. We've gone from the nitty-gritty tech, those dual AI models, the whole privacy focus,
To how it could change how we work, how we express ourselves, how we communicate.
Hmm.
And we even tackled some of the big questions, the whole, what does it mean to use AI responsibly thing.
And as we wrap up, one big question still swirling around in my head. Will Apple's move toward more privacy-focused AI inspire other companies to do the same? Something to think about as we wait for Apple Intelligence to drop. See you next time.